Hey everyone, this is Marshall B out in God's country, and there's this book called Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ by Daniel Goleman. And I found this book at this place where I used to work. They kind of have a community bookshelf, and I saw that book, and I was like, the title intrigued me because I like to read, and emotional intelligence is something I think we have problems with. We all have emotional problems. We get angry, we get anxiety, we get jittery, whatever it is. Sometimes we overreact. And like the novel Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, on the title, in the story, it says, "Don't panic," and it's like, I've had anger issues, like I've had, I've been in stressful situations where I got really angry, because the time or whatever it was that I was doing was irritating me, and I get angry. I get explosively angry, and it's like, I need to learn to control my emotions, and that's where emotional intelligence comes into. And it's just, there's so much feelings that we experience. We experience love, hate, envy, lust, all these emotions, impatience. It's just, everyone knows what emotions are, and we need to learn how to control our emotions. Don't overreact. Just, just learn to be flexible, because there's a rhythm to our emotions, and it's like we can make ourselves look like a fool, or we can use emotions to learn about ourselves. If certain behaviors in your parents, or just people in general that you meet, it's like, I used to get in arguments with my dad, and we've always went toe to toe, and it's just that's the way we have always been. And it's something that I've been working on, trying to find common ground to interact, and it's not just my relationship with my dad. I love my dad, and he's the best dad ever. It's like, all of our dads are awesome, and so it's just it's just the emotional relationship that we had, and and I get along with them and stuff like that. It's just, he's up in age, and he almost died when my mom after my mom passed away. So it's just kind of, he almost, or he's the same person, but it's just, it's just, hard to, because I have this image of them, and, it's like sometimes it's not the same, or, we're on different wavelengths, and some people, it's just, we bump into each other. So it's like when we have a relationship with a person, it's like sometimes we can push away or attract things into our lives, and our emotions, they can get us in trouble. Like, we see all this craziness going on in the world, and it's like these people don't have emotional intelligence. There's sources of information that triggers people's emotions about social and economic issues and certain topics. It like, people emotionally react to information and sometimes do stupid things that they later regret. And there's some situations where people emotionally reacted to something, and a lot of them lost their jobs because they emotionally did what they did, and they didn't realize the consequences. If they had different information, they could have made better choices, but since they didn't have the emotional intelligence to, not share their inner beliefs, if that's what they actually believed in, but if they use their critical thinking skills and not notice that they got triggered, by this news of this happening to someone, instead, if, they could have still had their job, provided they didn't share their opinion about this event. So plus, like with relationships, not everyone's on board. There may be infidelity and whatnot. So it's just kind of, once you learn how to control your emotions, you can interact with people. It's just kind of, we all have our relationships, and most people are cool. You can have a friendly conversation or whatever, and it's just, yeah, once we are able to control our emotions, we can plan things, create things, not get triggered about this or that. If you want to look into something, there's nothing wrong looking into social and economic events, but you try not to get emotionally triggered by what you hear on the news. The more you bring attention to something, sometimes that we create the reality that the people that control the airwaves want us to think. But when you're able to step away from that influence, you're able to make better decisions and be the intelligent, productive person that you're meant to be, and contribute to society to help break people free from mental enslavement, where they control you by your emotions, because that's what they want. They want people to emotionally react, to do what's happening in the news. They want to divide us. And once you realize that, that takes their power away from what they're trying to orchestrate. Just stop, sit back, just think about actions and consequences, or rewards. You know, create a business idea, create a song in your head, write music, start a YouTube channel. You know, it's just learn how to control your emotions and don't stress about things. Just take it easy and just just plan your future the way you want. If you want to be a millionaire, plant that seed that you're a millionaire and just keep on like walking your life saying I'm a millionaire, and create behaviors, educate your mind, be a stronger, better, more enthusiastic version of yourself. You know, just step into your power and use your brain, your God-given brain. And so, you know, this book, Emotional Intelligence, is an excellent book. And it's kind of a dry read, but it makes you sit back and think about, you know, your emotional intelligence. And I think people would find this to be a really good read. And it wouldn't be amiss if YouTube didn't give me a copyright strike on this book, because, you know, it's not mine. It's just a really good book. I'm not going to read it for you, but YouTube, they're kind of goofy like that. Like, music enhances situations, conversations, YouTube videos. Like, it's promoting music. Oh, but we got copyright you because you're playing really good music. Well, it's like, yeesh, good Lord. I just get annoyed when I got a good song playing in the background and I get a copyright. And it's like I'm promoting the band, you know? And it's a good song and it fit for what I was talking about. But, you know, it's ridiculous. You know, can't have good presentations for music videos, or yeah, you can't even sing songs unless maybe in an instrumental, but I don't know. Well, anyways, this is Marshall B. Order your Protandim, order Petandim for your dogs. I give Mabel over there Petandim, and I give her 2 because she's kind of a medium-sized dog. So I give her 2 because she has oxidative stress, and she has a lot of oxidative stress. If you can notice something, I'm not going to point it out, but you know, I love her to death, and I found a medical technology that activates your body's antioxidant production, and dogs get oxidative stress, just like us humans, because oxidative stress is what causes us to get disease processes, and so I gave her this product that activates her antioxidant production to fight her oxidative stress, to help her out. And I do have plans to bring her to the vet, you know, but, you know, it's just reason why we get sick is because a lot of the food that we eat is just god awful. It's nutrient deficient. And so it's just like, you gotta do these things to improve your health, you know, and I use it too, and I'm kind of rearranging my life and stuff like that. But you know, it's just, you know, I found this medical technology that I found that makes me healthy, and I haven't had a cold, you know, for maybe since after COVID or something, you know, and I used to get colds all the time. I get the sniffles every once in a while, but nothing like coughing or anything like that. Just no runny nose or anything like that. Not like I used to, so it's just kind of, it works. I'll leave this uh, links in the description from my website where you can order it. Plus, I have all natural GLP-1 product that has none of the negative side effects like Wegovy, Ozempic, you know, and like you lose muscle mass with those. That's why you look like a zombie, or looking like you're heading towards becoming a zombie. And but with this Mind Body GLP-1 activator, it activates your body's actual GLP-1 production. You maintain your muscle mass, and you can still work out, and it helps you monitor your blood sugar stuff. I don't know, it's really good. I'll leave the link in the description. Plus, I got one where you can get all the products together. We got hair care, skin care products as well. We got like an anti-aging skin cream. We got a facial cleanser. I use it to shave my beard. And so, you know, it's just, plus we got that stuff for Mabel, and I got an energy drink line, and collagen. We got the all natural collagen activator. It activates your body's collagen production. It's not just a supplement, but it actually activates it, since it decreases as we age. So I'll have all that in the description. So yeah, take her easy. Until next time, this is Marshall B signing out.